The rest of the staff had finally arrived, and the other models were on their way. I was done with Dagger's preliminary makeup, and was now waiting for the shoot's main theme to be announced. In the meantime, I could hear Kimmy giving her talent some reminders. Listen to me, Dagger. If you slack off today, I'll confiscate everything you hold dear. Well, everything I can confiscate. Are we clear? Everything she says. As always, Dagger kept quiet and only nodded. Being a former model and all, Kim has been trying to impart her knowledge on Dagger to make him more successful. I glanced around the room and spotted Akira, whose attention was single-mindedly focused on a conversation he was having over the phone. That guy never gives a damn about anything but what's coming out of his mouth. He's always talking to someone. Maybe some other time. Yeah. Probably a girl. And then there was Ray, who was talking to a senior photographer. I guess he was asking for some tips to improve his technique. Oh, yes, I'm still getting used to it though. I chuckled in amusement when Kim excitedly yelled out to someone. Oh my god, Klein! I glanced behind me and there he was, in front of the door. A tall, dignified man with piercing blue eyes, accompanied by a man in a suit and a woman in a beige pencil skirt. Yes, that is Klein. Long time no see, boss. Kim greeted him casually, the way you would greet an old drinking pal. Well, they've known each other for so long that they can just forego formalities, I guess. I told you not to call me boss, didn't I? Old habits die hard, man. Klein sighed at Kim's antics while she just laughed the matter off. Our president's regarded as one of the most promising young businessmen in the country. He has an enviable background. However, he unexpectedly chose not to inherit the family business and funded his own company, our talent agency. Ah. Coincidentally, our eyes met and it was a bit awkward. Let the eye fucking commence. A different kind of awkwardness compared to when I locked eyes with Ray. Called it. Let's just say we're acquainted with each other. And not exactly the way you'd expect a boss and an employee to be. He smiled at me. Something he does so rarely I wasn't able to hide my surprise. Sure, we can smile at him. I smiled in return. It wouldn't hurt to be nice after all, wouldn't it? And let's not forget that he's technically my boss. I respect him greatly and ought to treat him as politely as possible, regardless of what our relationship outside the workplace is like. Klein clapped his hands twice and went back to his usual unyielding expression. Okay, gather around everyone. I have an announcement. Of course, it's not like he was here to see me. He sauntered to a far corner of the hall and everyone followed him like little ducklings. Oh my god. What was that for? Oh, nothing. Look at this woman here, playing with me. What was that for? Kim looked at me expectantly with excitement in her eyes. I decided to ignore what she was talking about and play dumb as this was not the time to talk about personal matters. Oh, nothing. Should there have been any meaning to it? I chuckled at her and we both laughed. Aside from my siblings, Kim's the only one who knows pretty much everything about my private life. She's helped me countless times. I owe her a lot. Okay, everyone here? Photographers. Models. Managers. Everyone quietly settled down. Klein eyed the small crowd to make sure no one had been left out. Then he cleared his throat afterwards. Good. A few days ago, I received a call from one of the most prominent fashion and style magazines. Muller. Everyone started whispering as soon as the magazine's name was announced, like buzzing bees. Muller, huh? That sure brings back some memories. Mulaire is one of the top fashion magazines in the country, and they're slowly expanding internationally. So even just getting a call from them means good news. To clarify Kim's comment, she modeled for Mulaire in the past, for a couple of years. Her work there could easily be regarded as the turning point of her life. Too bad you've retired already. Oh my god, shut up, Macy. The magazine's anniversary is approaching, and as tradition dictates, they're going to release an anniversary issue, which is going to be heavier than their usual releases. And the reason Mulaire called us is... Klein paused dramatically as the crowd eagerly awaited his next words. Well, it wasn't exactly hard to guess what this was about. They want us to be one of their official partners. We all cried out our approval and then applauded, thrilled. This was seriously big. We'd landed a huge project. Oh my god. Oh, yes. Kim silently cheered with clenched fists. She clearly was excited to be a part of this, and I'm pretty sure she'll be extra strict with her oh-so-handsome charge. However, only a few of you will be able to take part in this project. Since it's an anniversary issue, we ought to give our very best, so as not to embarrass Mulaire. The pride of our company rides on this. We are still finalizing the list of models, which shall be announced as early as tomorrow afternoon. There only are 2 of you who are assured a spot as of now, and they are Akira... Of course. Despite his arrogance, Akira is pretty in demand in the industry, and every single time Akira's been featured on a magazine cover, their sales have drastically increased. That's the power of charisma and douchiness. Geez, I bet he'll be even more egotistical. Ugh. That's for sure. And also Daga. Congratulations. Ugh. That's my boy. Kim's voice is just all over the fucking map. I can't keep it straight. Ugh. Kim shouted in delight. She threw a fist up in the air, as if claiming victory, and a series of claps reverberated in the room. Dagger looked happy, despite being poker-faced and his lack of expression. This is a big chance for him. Hopefully we'll get some exposure. And also, Kim. What? The magazine wants you to feature as one of their models. It would fit the occasion since you used to work for them. Kim stood there looking astonished as another round of applause commenced. Don't tell me you agreed. Of course I did. Oh my god, my pay better be tripled, boss. That depends on your performance, Kimmy. Okay, I'll do it. I'll show them what the body of a goddess is like. Kim cheered again as the crowd showered her with encouragement. She must have been missing modeling since her retirement. As for today, we will be shooting the models to widen their portfolios, and then send the updated photos to Mulaire. So everybody get in your positions and let this thing get started. We can't afford to disappoint Mulaire. It's time to demonstrate your professionalism. The crowd hastily scattered around, whereas Kimmy hurriedly chased after Dagger. I retreated to the dressing room in order to rearrange my makeup tools. It was just as I'd predicted. I knew today would be different. I mean, it was certainly shaping up to be far busier than your ordinary day. Being part of such a big project is a blessing, of course, but for a freelancer like me, well, let's see if I make the cut. Come what may, I'll accept the outcome without holding a grudge. Mace. Klein? I didn't hear the door open, so I was surprised to see Klein in the dressing room. It was only just the 2 of us. Hi. It's been a while. How are you? Fine. Still alive. I smiled, ill at ease, as I tried to refrain from fidgeting. I couldn't remember the last time the 2 of us had a conversation alone, so I was feeling rather uncomfortable. A lot had happened. I was kind of amazed Klein was able to look calm given the circumstances. Sorry, I know it's a bit awkward, but I've wanted to talk to you for a while now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Klein sighed. He didn't speak up immediately. I could see he was lost in thought. Hmm? Sigh. Why do you keep apologizing? I asked, but instead of giving me an answer, he just stared at me with a gloomy expression. Somehow, the atmosphere suddenly shifted from awkward to sullen. I'm sorry. I kept waiting for a verbal response, but all I could hear was the soft sound of our breathing as we stood there self-consciously. At last, he exhaled. You have nothing to apologize for, Mace. Honestly, you didn't do anything wrong. I did. Hey now. But I would be lying if I said, in the end, that I wasn't still bothered by it. That I haven't been thinking about it. He's still hung up on the past. Klein. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to have any sort of conversations about anything that could be construed as being even slightly related to what happened, for that matter. I tried to avoid recalling unpleasant events that might reopen old wounds, events that should have been buried a long time ago. I heaved a sigh, mustering a somewhat sad smile. Hey. I've been wanting to fill the silence, but a single hey was the only word that came out. I breathed in and cleared my throat, looking away from Klein. But running away won't solve the problem. Or should I say, I don't have anything to run away from. What matters the most now isn't what happened in the past, but how we have overcome it. We're both doing well. We're managing. I know. It's just that I've wanted to somehow connect with you. You know what I mean? I've wanted to make up. You don't have to. Klein, really. No one expects you to. I don't want to seem rude, but that's how I see things right now. I have to. My feelings haven't changed. For a moment, I was left speechless. It only took an instant to throw me into confusion. I silently stood there, looking intently at Klein. He was serious. His eyes were sad and full of longing. After a couple of seconds, he turned away and left the dressing room. However, he glanced back at me one last time and smiled before disappearing from my sight. I wrapped my arms around my chest, feeling a special blend of hurt, befuddlement, and nostalgia all at the same time. He's so unfair, I whispered to myself and gripped my shirt. It was so unfair of him to force me to relive the past, as if it had happened just yesterday. So unfair the way he had successfully concealed his feelings for so long. Klein had been frank with me, yet surprisingly gentle at the same time. So unfair. In spite of what had just transpired, I decided not to dwell on the memories our little chat had brought back up. This is the best for Mason, who is me. I am referring to myself in the third person now. Okay.